friends, my name is Desiree Cifuentes, and this is Uncatechized Catholic. I'm often asked why my show has this name when I'm clearly not uncatechized, and in answering this question, you'll see a bit of who I am, but more importantly, what my work is doing and why you should subscribe. The long and short of it is I used to be an uncatechized Catholic, which led me to pursuing a theology degree in my 20s. When I realized this is where God was calling me, I felt a bit upset at the notion that anyone who was in a similar position to me would need to pursue a degree in order to catch up and become formidable in the faith. After all, not everyone is in the position to be able to afford higher education. So when I had this thought, I heard God say to me, "You are an uncatechized Catholic. There are others like you, and you can help them." I initially dove into that work as a blog, but decided to shelve that. And then 5 years of formation later, I made Uncatechized Catholic on Instagram, and off I went with the mission of facilitating mid-level catechesis with an emphasis on what you might call the philosophy of Catholicism or applied Catholic theology. I expect people here to know the basics of the faith, so I focus on everything between OCIA and the Summa, but I don't just offer knowledge for the sake of knowledge. I try to share how to live like a Catholic and how to integrate your faith into every part of your life. I'll talk about essentially anything to do with Catholicism, but I particularly focus on that, Encyclicals, resources to grow in your comprehension and for your family, and once in a while I'll give a longer treatment to Catholic history, art, and culture. I also like to introduce thoughts into the popular conversation that I don't hear anyone else giving. So if you want takes that you won't get anywhere else, you'll find them here. You might be thinking, those are some neat words, but what does all of that really mean? Let me explain. As Catholics, we often come upon or are asked questions that the church doesn't have a cut and dry answer for, and she tells us we need to discern the answers for ourselves. I want you to be equipped to confidently answer those questions. I'm trying to share how to think about the faith, how the church understands that same task, and show how the church guides us to digest information from multiple resources and synthesize it into a coherent philosophy to live by. My goal is to help make more well-formed, well-rounded Catholics who feel continually nourished by their faith and ready to go into the world and serve the church's primary mission of evangelization. If you want to know a little bit more about me personally, I'm a wife, a homeschooling mother of 6, and an Arizona native, but currently I am around South Bend, Indiana. I love coffee, cats, books, antiquing, going for walks, and being just a little sassy. If growing in your faith is a tool that you want, a skill that you desire to have, and using that in an applicable way sounds good to you, sounds appealing to you, I hope you subscribe wherever you're watching or hearing this. And more than that, I hope you engage with the content here by commenting. I'm very passionate about the fact that the best evangelization is done in person, and the internet is just a bridge to get there. But being in conversation with one another is a great way to keep the human element in this as we go along. Again, I'm Desiree Cifuentes. This is Uncatechized Catholic, and wherever you are, I love you. I'm praying for you. See you soon.